it is necessary to say a word in defense of some domestic realities, in particular, military. For example, practically all our liberals of an explicit and latent sense try to inspire our not enough understanding in historical realities youth any nastiness about the Red Army and its management during the Great Patriotic War. For example, they tell everywhere that ostensibly our generals constantly sent the whole divisions literally on slaughter, that they in head-on, without art support and aircraft have taken some well-fortified height. As a result, the number of casualties increased unnecessarily, which, of course, is very bad. Undoubtedly such cases occurred, and especially many at the very beginning of the war when confusion reigned in the Red Army as a result of constant enemy attacks. The commanders, fearing for their own skins in case of failure to fulfill the assigned missions, sacrificed masses of their soldiers, driving them literally to the slaughter. Yes, it happened, but to attribute it all to the specific tactics of the Red Army is simply stupid. When the army learned how to fight, German casualties became many times higher than the Soviet ones. But that's not the point. Our young people are trying to be led to believe that the Red Army simply pelted the Germans with the bodies of their dead soldiers, and everything is mixed up in the mix. But the most important thing is that it turns out to be a fairly common world practice. One of the biggest examples is the Battle of Verdun, which unfolded in France in 1916. During that battle, both German and French sides lost nearly 1 million soldiers, and the front line never changed. The main reason for such gigantic losses was that both the Germans and the French drove soldiers into enemy positions under machine gun, mortar, and artillery fire by whole units, head-on. And in most cases after unsuccessful attack only a handful of the attackers came back, and the whole officer staff was knocked out by the enemy in the first minutes of the attack. Read military memoirs of those years and you will be dumbfounded by the harsh reality. But for some reason our liberals don't remember this at all because they don't benefit from it. Also, our liberals accuse the Soviet authorities of numerous crimes when civilians suffered from their actions. They say that Soviet pilots and artillerymen bombed and shelled peaceful cities, and as a result a large number of civilians died. Königsberg and Berlin are cited as examples, although the Red Army was not at all the first to bomb these two cities, with the British and Americans bombing them for nothing and the Soviets only bombing them during an assault when the vast majority of the civilian population survived the British and American attacks and fled. This, too, is a bit of a stretch. On the one hand, when the enemy is locked in a city, there is no way to dislodge him. Naturally, the civilian population suffers as well, and this is also a worldwide practice in warfare. But the Americans and the British in the last war invented a new tactic, the tactic of intimidating the enemy by bombing exclusively civilians, without any tactical military purpose. Examples include the bombing of Dresden in Germany and Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. There were no troops in these cities, and the Americans knew it perfectly well, but they still went along with these crimes under all sorts of excuses. Thus, more than 100,000 peace Germans were killed in Dresden as a result of bombardment by the Anglo-American Air Forces on February 14, and in Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6 and 9, 1945. About 150 to 250,000 Japanese did not survive the explosions of 2 American atomic bombs in total. And here the question is, why are liberals accused of war crimes only the USSR, but they absolutely do not notice that the Anglo-American allies have committed these crimes hundreds times more, taking into account the quantity of the population suffered from them?